If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. We're all kind of thinking that Jermaine Cole Slash is dropping something again pretty soon. I dropped a video yesterday going over why people are thinking that, but today we're gonna look at the top 5 theories that we got about this new album. Presumably, It's a Boy, that's what it's called. So let's jump straight into this. Again, real quick before the video starts, if you don't want to hear this, skip 20 seconds into the future. I got 2 things I want to tell you. First of all, you can sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it's just for free, just your email, so I can send it to you. And it's going to be, about everything that's happened in the week prior to that if you don't want to have the time to watch all my videos, And the second one is that you can follow me on TikTok now. I'm posting daily on there, so make sure to leave your boy a follow on there. But let's get into the video. So just a quick recap of why people are thinking that J. Cole is dropping again. First of all, the biggest one that started this whole thing is because he went, and cleared his Instagram. And usually he only does these media blackouts before he's dropping something. The last time that happened was before the off season, and 2 weeks later, the off-season dropped. So that's the first reason. Second of all is that Dreamville Festival is coming up on April 1st and April 2nd. So likely maybe he wants to drop before that so that he can perform the new songs there. And thirdly is that usually he got about 2 to 3 years in between albums, and the off-season dropped almost 2 years ago now. So it will be time for a new album. But let's look at something that I found in the internet, and I kind of want to use that as a guideline to go through a bit more evidence on this album. So Complex just posted an article about the top 5 theories about this new album. They also agreed that this one will be called It's a Boy, so it's not just me. I don't want to, focus on this article too much, but we're going to go over the theories that they put out there and then see what evidence they use to support this, and let's see how viable those theories actually are. So let's start with the first theory. The first theory that they present is also the one that I support, is that the new album is going to be called It's a Boy. And there are 2 main reasons for this. The first one, and that is also the biggest one, is, and I said this in the video yesterday as well, is that he posted this fall off era release plan or release schedule. And on there we can see that the feature run is already crossed out, Revenge of the Dreamers 3 is already crossed out. The next plan at that point would have been the off season. That also happened now. We also did get a D-Day Gangsta Girls tape, the Dreamville tape that doesn't fit in here, but the next thing on that list would be It's a Boy. And after that, we would have the Fall Off. And people are thinking maybe It's a Boy will be that, the next album, or the Fall Off. We don't actually know. A lot of people also thinking that It's a Boy will be a Kill Edward album, but we'll get into that in a second. But that's the first theory. The second point to support this is that right after the off-season dropped, J. Cole went on Katie's, so Kevin Durant's podcast, and talked about his, process in the studio. And he said, you want to go into the studio when you miss it, for real. So that took 6 weeks, and after that, it was the best decision I made, because after that, I came into the studio with full clarity. Like, okay, off season, boom. The Fall Off, boom. It's a Boy, boom. I just started chipping away. So here we can see that he's talking about getting in the studio, working on the off season, working on the Fall Off, whatever album that might be, his grand finale before retiring maybe. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. And It's a Boy. So It's a Boy is confirmed to be some sort of musical project that he's working on. So that kind of confirms it as well. Also, I want to mention the reason why this Fall Off era plan is such great evidence is because in 2020, and I made a video back when this happened, he wrote a little piece for the Players Tribune in which he kind of, went over his passion for basketball and how he got into that, where he wanted to take it. And at one point he also says that he developed a long-term plan of becoming the best rapper I could possibly be before hanging up my jersey, leaving nothing on the table when all was said and done. The seeds for the Fall Off were planted. And so he's talking about a long-term plan of becoming the best rapper before hanging up his jersey. So that again supports the theory of him dropping It's a Boy next. So that plan that he put out, then he's dropping the Fall Off, and then he's retiring. I'll make it, separate video on that, whether he's retiring or not, because he's hinted at it quite a lot of times already, so make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss that. But that's another thing that we can kind of use as evidence for this. Now, let's get into the second theory. The second theory is mainly that the meaning behind this title is talking about his kids, because It's a Boy, could refer to his firstborn child, which was a boy, and he had, his first child in, I think it was 2017, something like that. He got married in 2015, I think, so that could be around that time. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have the exact dates on this, but he never talks about his kids publicly. Like, he touched on it a little bit in like 2018 in an interview with Angie Martinez. So, he talked about being a good father and a good husband. The only other time he raps about this, in this case specifically raps about it, was on Sacrifices, the track off of Revenge of the Dreamers 3 that you might remember, where he also talks about having a second child on the way. So maybe, that could be another one of those evidences that this might be about family life. And I think at this point, he's at the point of his life where he's ready to be like, okay, I'm the man, I'm a father, I'm also the rapper, but let's connect those two things. So I'm talking about my responsibilities as a father. I'm kind of letting the public in on this after shedding them out for such a long time because I wanted to protect my kids. I feel like at this point, he would be ready to take that step and make it a little bit public. He already kind of touched on this on My Life off of the off season, where he talked about his son growing up and letting go of his hand. Let go my hand. That wasn't My Life. Let go my hand. I was tripping. So he touched on it in that one, but let's get into the third theory. The third theory is very much connected to the second one. The other ones are a little bit different, but this one is connected to the one before. It says that it's going to be family oriented, and this would make sense. Cole has, for example, on For Your Eyes Only already presented a concept like this, in this case from the perspective of one of his friends that was talking to his daughter. Y'all know the concept behind For Your Eyes Only. It's incredible. I love that album. Probably my favorite Cole album, and I listen to it the most out of every album. And so that's one kind of aspect that we can kind of get at, also judging from the fact that it's called It's a Boy, so something family related. The second one is that y'all remember that Smino feature on 90 Proof that he dropped a couple of months ago. Well, actually, Smino revealed to Complex that Cole wanted 90 Proof for his next album. And when you look at the bars on 90 Proof, it says, I bought a condo when it's cozy, my neighbor's nosy as fuck, they see a young man walk in with his kids, they don't know who he is, they just know that he up. So here he's also referencing his kids and his family life. So another reason, and he wanted that song for his album, so another reason that this new album might address a lot of those themes. The fourth theory is actually pretty cool because it's that it will have diverse features, and I do think that will be the case. We've seen him, coming off of Forest Hills Drive, and then For Your Eyes Only, no features at all, KOD, no features at all, and then he came back with the off season, which had a lot of mainstream features. And part of the reason for this, and we can kind of see that development now, leading into the future as well, part of the reason for this is that he revealed in the documentary for Revenge of the Dreamers 3 that he was sick of, I mean, he wasn't sick, but he said that the memes about J. Cole went platinum with no features, y'all know the memes, that those were getting old, and he didn't want to be known as the guy that didn't connect with anybody, that didn't put anyone on, that didn't artistically connect with anybody. And so he did it for the off season, that he put a lot of artists on there, and we can likely see this, heading into the future as well. Now, theory 5 is actually also pretty exciting, and I could see myself making a whole entire video on this one as well, as there is a lot that we can go over, but it is that this album will drop on his birthday. So January 28th, Real is back. The Veil is back. Y'all know what I'm saying. But this theory got popular on Twitter as well. Well, every time that a birthday is coming up, we're kind of thinking that it'll drop. The main reason against this, though, is that, January 28th is a Saturday. So I don't know if it'll actually drop. It usually drops on a Friday. Maybe he drops it on the 27th then, but that wouldn't be on his birthday. So that's kind of the con against this. But it is the case that a media blackout from J. Cole happened at the beginning of his birthday month, so that is one that kind of goes hand in hand with this. Also, it would be before Dreamville Festival in April, and he would have some time for the album to breathe until the festival is happening, but then he could just as well drop in February or March, so not a lot supporting this in the same way. But also, and I actually thought that this was pretty cool that they wrote about, is that the title It's a Boy doesn't have to be about his child. It could also be that he drops on his birthday, and then it's called It's a Boy because he was born, you know, how old is Cole now? Like 36, 37. Well, he was born in 95, so he's 37, turning 38 this year. So it would be like It's a Boy, like back when he was born. It's a boy, it's Cole, like, you know what I'm saying? So that would make sense as well. But as I said, the last theory, they also said that this one was weak. The other ones were strong or mid. So this is the one that we kind of have the least evidence on this, but I'll look further into this and maybe do a whole video just on this, as well as about him retiring. I think there's a lot more that we can uncover for that, so make sure you're subscribed. That is it for this new Jermaine Coleslaw album, the 5 theories that we had on this. Let me know what you think about this. Also, if you're in the game for a new hoodie, you can check out my hoodie right under this video in the merch bar. It is the Benz Music official hoodie. Let me get the logo right there. The logo right there. It is comfortable. It is also pretty reasonably priced. You can get 20% off with code TRUEFAN, so make sure to do that and support your boy and get a dope ass hoodie. It's really warm, comfortable, everything, so you'll know I only got you with the high quality. And let me know what you think about these theories that we got going on here. Do you agree with a lot of them? Do you kind of see potential of some of them not happening? What's your evidence for and against these? And let me know what other video you would like to see on this rollout. I'll definitely make one whether he's retiring, because there's a lot more we can uncover there, and if he's dropping on the 28th, because that will also be very interesting as we're heading into the week of the 28th in about 1.5 2 weeks, whenever that is happening. So let me know everything you got on this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.